but at least I understand better about Republicans, is they're totally on the side of Zionists, right? And they don't care. They have no problem about telling you exactly how they feel. No, we don't want a two-state solution. No, you're gonna live in a fucking refugee camp. We're never gonna allow your people to come back here. And by the way, we're gonna whitewash your history so it seems like you were never there and the Israelis were always there. Well, we know though that's not true, right? So I think that's an interesting thing. Now, I spoke about this last night, but I'm going to reiterate something for you. Fuck James Franco. Him playing Fidel Castro is like the fucking 10th thing wrong with this dude. Who cares? You know, someone hit me up, they're like, John Leguizamo said to boycott this. Okay, then someone on the internet pointed out that John Leguizamo played Super Mario or Luigi or one of them, and something meant for an Italian actor. That's not comparable to the amount of times in which a white actor has played an obviously Latino person that they're not supposed to be, who speaks Spanish horribly. But, again, let me explain something to the people that are watching this show that are either upset about the James Franco, Fidel Castro thing, or they think it's corny that someone even brought it up. The fact that he's playing Fidel Castro is not the problem here. The fact that he was sexually harassing multiple women, including a young lady who's related to a very good friend of mine, a sicko, right? And that this is his comeback performance. Are you kidding me? Wait, so a dude, and I heard some of you slave mestizos that, I mean, you can't wait to defend white people, can't you? Right? Some of y'all are pathetic. You're on there talking about he's Portuguese and that makes him half Iberian. So let me tell you the same thing that I told the people on Twitter and the people that I told last night. Half Iberian. This motherfucker is half Harvey Weinstein and half Matt Lauer. He's a sexual predator. Fucking little girls from the acting school. What the fuck is you doing, man? It's your job to be an actor. You should be able to play anything. If you there's a movie that we watched in film school when I went there years ago, right? It was about the guy, I forget the actor's name, pardon me, the black dude from Allstate. He played a white dude in the movie, in the short film. And it was like believable. I was like, oh, okay. You can play a different character. Obviously, I mean, if you wear black faces, it's disrespectful. But that's not the problem here. The problem here is that you got a sicko, you got a pervert, you got somebody that be doing fuck shit, and this is their comeback gig. Now, don't you people see it? Don't you get it? He wants the conversation to be about Castro and about race and film. Because that's the easy one to have, motherfucker. The hard one to have is why you was sexually harassing a bunch of little girls, nigga. So while all y'all talking about Castro, right? All of you dumb motherfuckers, all of you, even the niggas that love me, you know better than this. Stop talking about him and Castro. Who gives a fuck about that? That's not what this is about, bro. What it's about is a motherfucker being a sicko. And how about this? For the women and men that are watching this show, is there anyone so famous that if you found out that they were like this with kids, that you would still want your kid to be with them? Ask yourself that question. Is there someone that you'd allow your child to be molested by because you love their music so much? No? Okay. That's how I feel too. There's no one famous enough to let them fuck my kid. Huh? So stop it. Stop it. Stop it. The issue is not with Fidel. The issue is not with him playing a Latino. The issue is with a studio and an agency who wants to get people that have been... I mean, if you got canceled by Hollywood, man... Dude, you know how fucked you have to be? And don't even let me get into the Flash and all that other shit. That shit is weird, bro. There's a lot of weird stuff going out there, man. The new Predator movie. There's a new Predator movie. What is it, like number 10? Why have not we've not seen the Yautja Homeworld? I'm upset about that. I'm loved in Turkey. I appreciate that, man. I'm loved. Someone said, when are you gonna come to France? France. Let me tell you a funny story about France. France offered me a show about 10 years ago for $5,000 at a 1,000 cap venue. They offered me a show for 5,000. I get 25,000 pounds to do a show in England, bro. And you offer me $5,000. They offered me a show on this run too. You know how much they offered me? 5,000. Qu'est-ce que c'est, mon ami? Pourquoi est-ce que vous avez? You don't like me? I love you. I love you. I mean, I have a lot of criticisms of the country and the government of France, but the people there, I mean, shit, I got so many criticisms of this government. Come on now. You ever gonna come to the north end of the UK? Where, like Manchester? Or you mean like what? Like near Scotland? Without France, there's no America. You're right. But remember, the French got mad. Oh, you don't know this? For the people that don't know, America and France had a war. Did you know that? After the Revolutionary War. It wasn't a land war. It was a sea engagement. For the people that are watching this show right now, that think, what are you talking about? Didn't France help the United States beat England? Like, there would be no America without the United States. There would be no United States without France. That's true. And then after, right? After the French helped us and the Napoleonic government came to power, the Republic, right? Before Napoleon, when it was like the Republic and all this shit, the American government said to the French people, we borrowed this money from the King of France. We didn't borrow it from the Republic of France. Therefore, we don't owe you any money. Now, at this time, this wasn't the disseminated army that lost all of its South American and Central American holdings. This was strong-ass France. You know what they did during like the Napoleonic era? They blew up 36 ships in America and they lost one to 36. And they fucked up America's shipping industry so badly that America conceded and gave France their money. There you go. Don't fuck with those French people. The best thing to do is have the image of being soft and be a monster, right? You talk about France and they tell you, oh, those people are soft. They did not want war with Iraq and da-da-da-da. That's not their slice. It's not that they don't want a war. The French people never met a war they didn't like either. They're just like Democrats. Fake liberal horseshit. Right? Never met a war they didn't like. Matter of fact, when you talk about, and this is what right-wingers get wrong, who supports the most dictatorships in the world? Russia, China? No. America? No. France. So they can get access to the natural resources in Africa. Without your colonies, you people are nothing. You do realize that, right? Like, without all the children that you enslaved and have fight for you like a bunch of janissaries, you're nothing. So don't fuck with me, bro. All right? Make no mistake. France ain't soft. They just not gonna fight when it's not their slice. Okay? You remember Syria? They got involved because it's their slice. After World War I, they divided the Middle East during a country called Sykes-Picot, right? Now, Iraq, Egypt, and some other areas went to Jordan, Transjordan, which is what Palestine and Israel are, That area went to England. You get it now? So that they didn't. Oh, they don't like that. They don't like us talking about that. Oh wow, they really don't like us talking about that. So they sliced up the Middle East. And the reason that each one of them gets involved is because it's their slice. Why would France go fight in Iraq? That's Britain and America's territory. But if it comes to Syria, then France is all go. Right? Listen, guys, I really, really, really hope that you like these articles that I'm writing. Um, Obviously, listen, they're not finished because it takes a while to perfect really good stuff. But I hope you like them. Like I said, it's about the 9/11 effect, and the other one is about the Olmecs and how they're indigenous, and an interesting history behind the movement to make them either one thing or another, and some of the divisions that I've seen, and some of the people that are poisoning the movement in many ways. But it's a long story. As for the 9/11 effect, listen, that's going to be a great, great, great article. And I think that's the one that's really going to affect a lot more people. Now, when are you going to do American Cholos podcast? I'm down. I'll do it via Skype if we have to, man. Like, I'll be back in the West Coast, I think, in October. But, I got to check on Abuelita. I'm not saving this live. These are exclusives. You understand? I don't save these anymore. I save like when I really do something. I'm not going to save these anymore. If you want to see these are exclusive to the fan base. These are exclusive to us. These are exclusive conversations. I'm eventually going to be deplatformed from here. You know that, right? You know that's coming, right? I'm just better because I have people on my side that understand the algorithm. So I don't write certain words on here, right? There are certain things that I don't say, but I managed to say a lot without going over the line, making threats. Do you understand? Oh, I'd love to do something with Fools Going Wild. Those are good people. That guy helps the community. I think he's a good person. And, I just appreciate anybody who's doing something good. Well, it's the West Coast. Them motherfuckers all asleep right now. Anyway, thank you for supporting the Rebel Army runs. For those of you who don't know, we're 501c3 now, so thank you. Thank you to Jean-Marie, to Slim, to all the brothers from Rebel Arms that came at some point to support us. I appreciate the fuck out of y'all. You know what I mean? You guys are my heart, and thank you. Technique, would you ever work with Green Lantern? Green Lantern is a stand-up dude. Green Lantern is one of the most humble people that I ever met in my life. And I'm going to say this about Green Lantern. There's a lot of things that you can say about a person business-wise and other shit. But I just think that Green Lantern, mind you, I know his name is James. I talk to him like I know him in real life. He's a really good person. And when you talk to him and, you had problems growing up and shit, you get this sense that, he's a patient teacher, a good man, a good Muslim, and a great father. And that's all I can say about Green Lantern. He's a great father and a great teacher. Great father to his children, great teacher. And I learned a lot from him as well. X DMX or 50 Cent. I've done a bunch of shows with DMX. I gotta go with him. I love 50 too. Don't get me wrong. I done a couple of openers for 50 Cent and G Unit. I did 2 of them when they were in New York, but I've done more shows with DMX. So I'd have to go with X. Allahu Akbar, brother. God is great. God is great to me. God is great, and I appreciate all the blessings I've been given in my life to do the things that I do. I appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for being here. And I'll be on here again.